Second race at Ascot is the new race, the Champions Day 2-year-old Condition Stakes. There's going to be a short price favourite in here again, another Godolphin horse called Wise of Truth, who was a good winner of the Mill Reef last day on easy ground. He's Lope de Vega out of an Australia mare. He sets probably the standard here, and I think it's going to be tough to beat. The third race is the British Champions Sprint. 20 runners. It's a big field, very competitive. The sprints all year in the UK and Europe, they've been, just divided up. We've had different horses win them all. The ground's going to be good, so hopefully it'll be a fair fight. Lazat probably sets the form on his win at the Raw meeting. Obviously, like Ascot, good ground will be fine. He probably sets the standard. He's drawn 7 of 20, so you don't know how that'll work out. Big Mojo won the race at Haydock the last day. He's drawn on the wing. That's probably in his favour. He needs a bit of cover, but at least he's a bit keen, and that could suit him. Montesib, he's a previous Group 1 winner. He's an older horse. Tends to always sort of, William Haggis, he tends to get them to peak for these days. Kind of Blue won this race I think last year. He's drawn over an 18. He has a chance, but you can probably make a case for a lot of these in here. I wouldn't have any firm opinions. As I say, the sprints this year, they've been divided up. We've had different horses win them all, and it'll be whoever gets the run on the day. The next race is the Fillies and Mares. The race has actually held up okay. I think there's 10 runners now. I suppose the best place to start is with Kalpana, who won this race last year. She's had a slightly frustrating season. She's been placed a lot, and she actually ran ahead of a race in the Arc when she finished 7th. Back to Ascot should suit her. Good ground should be fine. Obviously, she won on very bad ground here last year. She sets the standard. She deserves to win a race. Estrange is a lightly raced filly. She was second to Minnie Hawk at York. She's going to be back on slower ground. She was taken out of the Arc from a wide draw. She's interesting. She's drawn in on. She's a nice filly. Warda is another lightly raced. She's a 3-year-old filly trained by Owen Burrows, who was a great target trainer. He's taken his time with this filly. She won the Lily Langtry over 1.6 miles at Goodwood. She comes back to 1.5 miles. She's by post ball and she stays well. She's an interesting one. Obviously, I know Bedtime Story very well. She's had a slightly frustrating year. She was second in the Diane, the French Oaks. She ran well enough in the Vermeil, and the last day she didn't stay the 1.6 miles in the Royal. She's turning around quickly. Good ground, 1.5 miles, I do think will suit her. Another interesting one is Quisisana, who won the Region Romane in Deauville. She was 9th in the Arc. Not sure she ever really got a clear shot at it. Obviously, Kalpana finished ahead of her that day, but she's an interesting filly. And although it's probably not a really high class race, it's competitive, and this race has held up well, and it'd be an interesting one. The Queen Elizabeth II is one of the feature races of the day. It's a big field. I suppose Field of Gold will probably start favourite. He's been off since a disappointing run in a messy Sussex Stakes. He looked very impressive, winning the St James's Palace and the Irish Oaks and obviously the Irish Guineas. Sorry, and he was obviously unlucky in the English Guineas. Look, he's a big grey son of Kingman. Straight mile at Ascot should suit him very well. Good ground is probably exactly what he wants. He's drawn 14 to 16, which I'd say is a nice enough draw. He'd be happy enough with that. He's been relaxing well in his last few starts. Hopefully he's not too fresh on his first run for a while. But he obviously looked a really good horse at Ascot, so it'd be interesting to see which version of him turns up this time. Rosalian has had a frustrating year. He hasn't won. He's run a lot of good races. He flew home in the Moulin the last day. He's drawn beside Field of Gold. He obviously ran a great race, went second here at the Royal meeting and won the St James's Palace last year. He probably deserves to win a race. Fallen Angel has been in great form. She's won her last three Group Ones, all at a mile. She likes cutting the ground. She's uncomplicated. She'll go forward. She'll make her own luck, and she's got a tremendous attitude. So you couldn't rule her out at all. Never Sabrae's an improving horse this year. He's won his last three, including Group 1 at York, over 7. He's stepping up to a mile, which is a slight question mark. He won on the round mile, but possibly he's better at the 7. But we'll see. The Lion and Winter is a big price. He ran a good race in the Moulin the last day. He's had a year where things haven't really gone for him. You know, he was trained for a derby. I think in Miles' trip, he ran a really good race in the Moulin. Obviously, he's going to have to turn around the form with the line with Rosalian. But I think this could suit him. Dockland's won at the Royal Meeting. He won the Queen Anne. He loves Ascot. You suppose you couldn't rule him out. And yeah, it's big field. Houseback was in there. Tamfana. Dancing Gemini is probably a horse that's been completely overpriced. He started the year very well. I rode him when he was second in the Lockinge. Thought he was up to this standard. A mile at Ascot with an ease in the ground should suit him. It's an interesting race, and yeah, it's hard to be confident about anything, but yeah, there's plenty you can make a case for. The Champion Stakes is a really interesting race. 3 high-class horses. I obviously know Delacroix best of them all. He won his 2 starts at Leopardstown early in the year, didn't stay in the Derby, dropped back, won the Eclipse, beating Ombudsman. Ombudsman turned the form around at York in what was a messy Chubmont. He then went back to Leopardstown and was an impressive winner of the Irish Champion. I think the round mile at Ascot over a mile and a quarter, where he's meeting the ground, will suit him very well. Ombudsman's had a fantastic season. Lightly raced horse. Again, he won here at Ascot at the Royal Meeting. Was very good at York. He's going to probably be the favourite, and he's probably entitled to be on his Ascot form. Clandigan is the 3rd horse in here. He won the King George here on his last start. He won a Saint-Cloud the time before. He also won here last year. He's obviously coming back to a mile and a quarter. He was second in this race last year, had a good run in the Job One as well last year behind City of Troy. I think those 3 probably set quite a high bar for the others to come up to. I'd be hoping Delacroix can win. The draw and the tactics are going to be key in this race. It looks like there's a couple of pacemakers, one from Godolphin and one from Courtmore. It'd be interesting how the race shapes up. Economics has been off since he won the Irish Champion. He was obviously well fancied for this race last year and disappointed. He didn't run bad, but he was obviously well fancied on the day. He's drawn wide out at 10. If he's willing to run well, he could surprise, I suppose. Fox Legacy is a horse that's been improving as the year's gone on. Al McCann, he's threatened to win at this level. Always seems to run a good race. He's drawn in, which could be for him or against him. Almeric's up in class. He's a lightly raced horse, but he's probably a good bit to find. First look from Andre Fabs. He's won his last 3 starts this year. He was a good winner up weekend. He's up in class. He's nicely drawn. He could get involved. So yeah, look, it's a really good race actually. Of the top 3 in the market are probably 3 of the best horses in the world, and be interesting how it all shapes up. And yeah, whoever gets to run the race, it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out. Kipco Champions Day, it ends with the Balmoral handicap. Straight mile, always a competitive race. Plenty of these old horses, they've been knocking around all year. You usually want an improving horse that's a little bit ahead of the handicapper and can turn out to be a group horse. Conditions this year aren't as bad as normal, so hopefully it's going to be a level playing field. Native Warrior is going to be the favourite. He was impressive winner at Ascot over 7 earlier in the month. He's progressive, so he's definitely interesting. I've rode a few in here. I've rode Shout. I've rode Fifth Column, who's He's a horse been consistent in handicaps all year. He won at York, he won at Goodwood. He beat his fifth at Goodwood in the mile, and he won at Newmarket earlier in the year in Sandown. I think this sort of race will suit him well. Ariseg always threatens to win a nice race. Greek Order, he ran very well in the Royal Hunt Cup. A mile here with an ease in the ground should suit him well. Witch Hunter seems to love Ascot. It's fairly handicapped on his best form, but yeah, this is always going to be a tricky race.